Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to E-tactix. So today we're just gonna talk about the max short stroke. So first of all, what is short stroke? Normally, we do short stroking uh, by if we want to increase the cycle speed, right? But in our case, or in my case, I'm not doing it for cycle rate. Uh, so the summary is I'm using short stroke to to fix my hammer. For those who's following the page, this is the 3D printed slide test that we're trying to fill out. But again, since for budgeting reasons, I don't have a brand new unit. I'm using an old unit. So turns out one of issues that I'm having with this unit is, similar with the stock ones or the usual high kappas. When we have a sorry, when we slide right, this one's not yet short stroked. This one still locks, right? If the hammer is way too low or is too loose, it goes way too high, it will lock the slide, if it's already worn out, right? Now, fix for that one is either fix the hammer if it's already worn out or fix the sear, either which one's worn out. So in my case, I did max short stroke, by Armor E, to fix that one. Wherein in that way, my my slide will only hit up to this part. It will no longer go beyond, and then go back. So first of all, again to the new those new friends that I made, what is short stroking? Normal stroke is like that. Sometimes it even goes further. Here, it mimics the slide length of RS, but the moment you short stroke, you will add buffer rings, or depends on short stroke rings, or recoil guide rod rings here. In that way, from a full length of that one, sometimes you'll only go this way, or depends on how short you'll have to go it. Now the limits of short stroking is, of course, you want to be able to disassemble your your recoil rod, right? So like for example, for this one, I can still add maybe a few of short stroking rubber, buff recoil rod rubber, buffer rubber. Again, there's many names, but that's the max, right? In that case, like for example, this one, right? If I do it like that, if I add two, it'll be up to here, right? So it's still the fix to be able to see here. The hammer will still go in. So again, short stroking is done to increase cycle rate for some. If you guys played with me, you know that I don't have an HPA setup yet. So I prefer units that slide locks. But in a cheaper alternative to fix this one, rather than buying an aftermarket hammer or an aftermarket sear, if you max short stroke it before it hits the past the blowback housing, you will be able to bypass the issue of having hammer jams. So in this case, that's what we did, because again, this is already a worn out unit. As you can see, there's a huge play now, right? So again, if I would like to fix this, just buy a new hammer. But again, for a cheaper alternative, the max short stroke, for example here, this is the max stroke now. As you can see, it can no longer go back, but you will still afford to slide lock. So this is the max short stroke from Armor E. Now, so what's so special about this one is that I'm using one piece recoil rod, the stock recoil rod. Now, some units, higher end units with two-piece stroke rods, can be able to put more, but in this case for Armor E, they try to make solutions, a cheaper alternative solution. So this is still the stock. This is still the stock recoil rod, one piece. But this no, I cannot show the entire setup yet. But as you can see, they're maxed out. See, you this is more of a just show the video, but I cannot show yet how they're doing it. Yeah, but again, you can disassemble this one. But with their max short stroking kit, again, this will increase your cycle speed because now this is the only distance that you'll be able to travel. So again, for those who've seen me fielded this one, sometimes I'm having slide jams, right? Because of now, it turns out the reason was the hammer's going here. So yeah, using the Armor E Max Short Stroke, it will only up to there, bypassing the issue. It's now short stroke. You can still remove it, and then yeah. So downside of the Max of short stroking something, the again for those friends of mine who's asking, the speed of the return of your loading nozzle need to match that speed because remember, since you have shorter travel here, the one thing I like about this skeletal 3D print is that I can see the internals. The loading nozzle spring should kick in as soon as it goes to that very short cycle. Otherwise, you'll have some misfeeds on your BBs, right? Imagine if it's already like that, but the loading nozzle is still here, and then it's already moving forward, so you won't have a BB loaded. Yeah, so that's the max short stroke. Now for some, again, if there are really some who go over mod, like they will go over stroke, over short stroke. Again, if they really want the speed, because even in this case, again, it's already a max short stroke, but you will still have like, you can still remove 5 mm of place. I'm not sure if you guys can see that one on the light, but you can still short stroke this up to here. If you get, but that will like, do some other mods. But yeah, the one thing we like about it is because now, again, imagine buying a hammer or a sear compared to just to using this one. Again, long story short, I'm not a fan of short stroking because I like slide locks. But again, if budgeting comes into the discussion, I will do this to prolong the life of my prolong the usage of my unit rather than buying an aftermarket part. So yeah, there you go. Again, it's in one of our teammates Armor E. Again, this is a very this is like, because without modding the top slide in here, again, for those who's doing over short stroke, like where the loading, like if you have here, right, and then the loading nozzle is over here, you'll have to cut a notch here just so you'll be able to insert the slide lock. So this is like the most max slide lock, max stroke using the stock hammer, stock slide. There you go. So again, I cannot entertain any questions yet on how it is assembled, but here you go. It's a kit. The rings are the kit, though I think they'll be releasing it in different color for ID reasons, but for now I got the prototype one. See, you won't removing it like this without the special method, you won't be able to remove it, but this is removable. Okay, so there you go. Thank you guys for watching. A little bit lengthy, but again, this is for someone who likes slide lock. But again, to prolong the usage, I'm going short stroke. I will revert this one once I do get a cheap alternative replacement, guys. You know me, guys. If there's a cheap method, I go there. Okay, thank you for watching. A little bit lengthy.